Okay, so we're still doing the dark green on the bottom right edges. Thing is, you're also going to have some shapes that turn into different sides. So the thing you want to do with that is totally up to you, but you can fade two colors into each other. And that way you're kind of staying true to your original plan on which sides are which. So I'm doing bottom right. See how this kind of fades into the green part? Well, I'm going to grab a totally different green, and I'm not really taking time to see what the green looks like, but I just have a loose idea. So even though the plan was to just use three colors to kind of rock a 3D style, we're going to mess with this fourth mystery color and see what kind of fades we can get. And for that matter, let's say, I forget already, what side is green coming in on? Green, this kind of green is coming in on the bottom right. So let's do that. This is the slightly different green, but it's not that noticeable, really. Not that noticeable. And that being the case, why don't I just grab a different green and keep it interesting. Okay, this is more of a turquoise. Turquoise, speaking of which, now look at this, dark mint. We're going way off the board here, but we're going to take this darker turquoise, put it in the same area as the regular turquoise, but kind of fade it from dark to light, light to dark, whatever. So this is a spur of the moment decision, but you'll be happy you did it because you're using more than one shade of a cool color. Now you look at this harsh edge, right, where the two turquoises meet, and you're thinking, what the hell? How are we going to make that look good? Well, I will show you. Also shows you how your razor thin white line can be utilized to actually look pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to take the first turquoise that we used and just fade it a little bit into here. Now since it's supposed to be the same color, it should fade fairly well. Okay, so what do you think? So that's three colors so far. I'm thinking this part of the E could really use some definition. So according to our map, that's the dark green part. I'm just going to go in heavy with the dark green. A lot of art just depends on putting paint on the canvas or on the wall, and then just go from there and see what happens next. I certainly didn't make that up. Many people will tell you that, but the idea is just to get something moving, and then you can deal with it later. Many times when I'll make experiments with my color or whatever, it doesn't look right, and I have to do something else, try it again. But that's just how it works in the moment. So I think I'm just about over all this green. I think I'm just about done with it. I would like to show you how to do the whole thing in just three colors, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you guys are catching up pretty quickly here. And there's going to be moments like this area where you're like, what the hell am I doing? Where does this go? What part is that? Part of what? And you won't be sure. But I say just keep going, just keep dealing with it. So here's another area where we can try out our super thin line idea. You cut a super thin line, and then you have to be really careful not to jack it up when you are making your other lines, because it's really easy to bleed through and miss it. So I'm thinking that we should probably grab yet another green, another dark color, and finish off. Now, if you can use colors that are similar but not quite exactly the same, and that will give your outline some spice, some variety for the eye. But even still, that is so boring, right? So we have this green that's just slightly different. And that green is not blowing my socks off. So I'm just doing some basic little shadowy things with the green. But